Good morning everyone. This is day 2 of the chapter photosynthesis of class 9th biology. The main objectives of today's topic will be to know what is the difference between essential and accessory pigments, what is etiolation, mechanism of opening and closing of stomata according to sugar concentration theory and potassium ion concentration theory. Chlorophyll is a vital green colored pigment which is present in all green parts of plant. Chlorophyll is a highly complex organic substance which is made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and magnesium. There are 5 types of chlorophyll molecules that includes chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D and chlorophyll E. Out of these 5, chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B are the major one. Chlorophyll pigment is present along the walls of thylakoid. In addition to chlorophyll, chloroplast also contains carotene and xanthophylls. The major function of chlorophyll is to absorb sunlight and convert this light energy into chemical energy. There are basically 2 types of pigments which are present in a plant: essential pigments and accessory pigments. Essential pigments are the pigments which are directly involved in the process of photosynthesis, whereas accessory pigments are the pigments which are not directly involved in the process of photosynthesis but are supportive in function. Essential pigments get excitation from accessory pigments, whereas accessory pigments directly absorb the sunlight and get excited and ultimately pass this excitation to essential pigments. Essential pigments include chlorophyll A, whereas accessory pigments includes chlorophyll B, xanthophylls and carotenes. Etiolation. Etiolation is defined as the development of yellow colored pigment called etiolin in place of chlorophyll in the absence of light by a plant. Actually, in the presence of light, plant undergoes a process called as photosynthesis, and in the presence of this light only, plants are able to synthesize a green colored pigment called chlorophyll, which is essential for the process of photosynthesis. In the absence of light, plants are unable to synthesize this green colored pigment. Rather, they start synthesizing a yellow colored pigment called etiolin. This process of formation of yellow colored pigment called etiolin by a plant instead of chlorophyll in the absence of light is called as etiolation, and the plants which undergoes this process of etiolation are called as etiolated plants. Now take out your book and come to the page number 5.2. Chlorophyll. The vital pigment is found in walls of thylakoids. The chlorophyll is a highly complex organic substance. It is made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and magnesium, as we people have discussed. There are 5 types of chlorophyll molecules, out of which commonly occurring and most abundant are chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. The chlorophyll molecules are associated with the membranes of thylakoid. About 250 molecules of chlorophyll forms one quantasome. It is capable of trapping one quantum of light energy and converting into chemical energy. This act of converting light energy into chemical energy is called as photochemical act. The leaf appears green because chlorophyll reflects away the green wavelength of light spectrum and absorbs mainly red and blue wavelengths. In addition to chlorophyll molecule, the chloroplast also contains accessory pigments, carotene and xanthophylls. These pigments helps in transference of light energy to chlorophyll A. Chlorophyll is highly sensitive to light. Too much light may destroy it. This process of destruction of chlorophyll due to high light intensity is known as solarization. Chlorophylls become excited in the presence of light. It means that photon of light is absorbed, which raises the electron inside the atom to a high energy level. This initiates the process of photosynthesis. In the absence of light, plants develop a yellowish pigment called etiolin instead of chlorophyll. The leaves acquire a yellow color and the stems become pale, thin and long. Plants under this condition are called etiolated. This phenomena is called etiolation. Now Let us discuss the mechanism of opening and closing of stomata. There are two theories which explains the opening and closing of stomata. First one is sugar concentration theory and the second one is potassium ion concentration theory. First, we will discuss the opening and closing of stomata according to sugar concentration theory. According to this theory, as we know, plants contain chlorophyll. During daytime, sunlight is present. So, in the presence of sunlight, plants will undergo the process of photosynthesis. In that process of photosynthesis, food is prepared in the form of glucose, which is further stored in the form of starch. This formation of starch makes the guard cells hypertonic. As a result, adjacent cells becomes hypotonic. As we know, osmosis always occurs from hypotonic medium to hypertonic medium. So, the process of endosmosis occurs. As a result of process of endosmosis, guard cells become turgid. The turgidity of guard cells results in opening of stomata. Whereas during night time, as we know, light is not there. So, in the absence of light, there will be no process of photosynthesis and no generation of food. The food which is prepared during daytime will be utilized. Guard cells become hypotonic and the adjacent epidermal cells become hypertonic. As we know, osmosis always occurs from hypotonic medium to hypertonic medium. So, the process of exosmosis occurs. The guard cells become flaccid and this flaccidity of guard cells results in closing of stomata. Now we will discuss the opening and closing of stomata according to potassium ion concentration theory. According to this theory, during daytime in the presence of sunlight, plants undergoes the process of photosynthesis. This process of photosynthesis occurs inside the chloroplast of guard cells. This process of photosynthesis results in formation of food in the form of glucose, and this formation of glucose further results in production of ATPs in the light dependent phase of photosynthesis. This generation of ATPs results in opening of ATP pumps, which further results in movement of potassium ions from adjoining cells into the guard cells, which further results in increased concentration of potassium ions inside the guard cells. This increased concentration of potassium ions makes the guard cells hypertonic. As a result, the adjoining cells become hypotonic. As we know, the process of osmosis always occurs from hypotonic medium to hypertonic medium, which results in process of endosmosis. Due to the process of endosmosis, the turgor pressure of guard cells become more, and this increase in turgor pressure of guard cells results in turgidity of guard cells. As a result, the stomata opens, and this helps in the process of exchange of gases. Whereas during night time, as there is no sunlight, so there will be no process of photosynthesis. As there is no process of photosynthesis, there is no formation of food and no generation of ATP, due to which potassium ions leak out from guard cells into the adjoining cells, which makes guard cell hypotonic. As a result, adjacent epidermal cells become hypertonic. As we know, the process of osmosis always occurs from hypotonic medium to hypertonic medium. So, the process of exosmosis occurs. Guard cells become flaccid. As a result, stomata closes. Mechanism of opening and closing of stoma. The opening and closing of stoma is regulated by turgidity of guard cells. The stoma is open when guard cells are turgid. On losing turgidity in guard cells, the stoma gets closed. According to sugar concentration theory, that is the old theory, during daytime, the guard cells starts photosynthesis. The sugar produced during this process increases the osmotic pressure. Due to the increased osmotic pressure, water enters in the guard cells because of endosmosis from the adjoining cells. Hence, the guard cells become turgid and bulge out due to their thin outer wall, thus widening the stomatal opening lying between them. According to potassium ion concentration theory, the opening and closing of stoma depends on generation of potassium ion gradient. During day, photosynthesis occurs in chloroplast of guard cells, which leads to the production of ATP in the light reaction phase. ATP pumps the potassium ions of adjoining cells into guard cells. Increased potassium ion concentration in guard cells makes them hypertonic. Hence, water from adjoining cells rushes inside and the cells become turgid. The guard cells move outward to open out the stomatal pore. At night, potassium ions leak out, thus reducing the turgor pressure of guard cells and stomatal pore closes. I think the topic is clear to you. Thank you.